Hello everyone, Leanne here with Sacred Wild Woman. Welcome. This week's discussion is about compassion versus empathy and what are the disadvantages of compassion and empathy, and also what are the similarities and why it's so important to have compassion versus empathy. So here we go. So how many times have we been impacted when friends, coworkers, or loved ones experience a life crisis? I know I have. Whether it's emotional pain or in a relationship conflict. And some of our reactions can range anywhere from apathy to sympathy, empathy, and compassion. But for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on compassion versus empathy. So empathy, defined in the Merriam Dictionary, is the action of understanding, being aware of, or being sensitive and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of another, of either the past or present, without having feelings, thoughts, and experience fully. So empathy is the ability to share the feelings and experiences of others. It involves being able to imagine yourself in another person's shoes. People who are empathetic can really understand the suffering of others and feel the same without going through the situation. But some empaths do go through the same feelings, which really can be difficult. Empathy depends on imagination and past experiences. Unlike compassion, empathy doesn't involve action at helping people. Even though it doesn't involve action, depending on the situation, it can be helpful. Empathetic people can be understanding to feelings, build healthy relationships, and trusting relationships. Also, empathy is a key element to compassion. That's why it's so important to improve empathy to become a compassionate person. And even though there are benefits to empathy, there are also disadvantages. On a cognitive level, it can be challenging related to empathetic behavior. And sometimes it's not possible to avoid projecting our feelings to understand the position of other people. It can also really cause emotional exhaustion and increase stress. And for my empaths out there, consider focusing on understanding the feeling rather than experiencing them yourself. It's a way to set boundaries. So compassion in the Merriam Dictionary is defined as a sympathetic consciousness of others, distress together with a desire to alleviate it. Compassion is the desire to help people with their pain, mental or emotional pains, which is from the understanding of their suffering. Compassionate people tend to put themselves in other people's shoes to better understand their feelings, but take action. And compassion involves emotional distance from the person, which may help without adding your own personal stress. It involves providing help while maintaining emotional distance. It helps you to not take on that depression, anxiety of others, and it reducing stress and improves self-esteem. So some of the disadvantages, unfortunately, are and can be energetically consuming because it involves helping people, and it leads to fatigue, anxiety, and depression because you want to help. Another disadvantage is that the skill of compassion depends on your perception of other people's feelings. It is important to understand the suffering to provide the right help. This is where it's important to build emotional intelligence and self-awareness skills. So let's explore the difference between compassion and empathy. Empathy and compassion may seem similar, but their concepts have distinctive aspects which distinguish their strengths and weaknesses. Both empathy and compassion represent a close part in relationships. They both involve understanding the feelings of other people. The important part to know is how to use these two concepts depending upon the circumstances. And to some extent, compassion and empathy combined with a desire to take action, resolve an issue, and alleviate stress. Compassion is often more controlled and concise than empathy. It's a way to mindfully understand and respond to feelings. So why should we talk about compassion and empathy? Well, it improves our humanity. It is scientifically proven that we benefit as a society when we implement compassion and empathy. And researchers have shown that thinking compassionate thoughts they literally light up the brainwaves and activate pleasure. It's also said that when you show compassion, others see you as a leader because you show concern and have an intent to help. Compassion helps people live longer, and being treated with empathy and compassion speeds up recovery and patience. Self-compassion improves your immune system, and compassion towards others and yourself is good for your mental health. So, the important thing to remember is to differentiate between feeling empathy and compassion, is how they can affect your well-being. It is a beautiful thing to experience and have compassion and empathy, but if you're constantly experiencing and feeling the pain of others, it's important to create healthy boundaries for yourself so that you don't feel burnt out, or fatigued. The world needs those who are empathetic and compassionate people, but not at the expense of your well-being. What's that saying? You have to put on your life preserver on before placing it on someone else. That's kind of how compassion and empathy work. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out. It's a very important topic to talk about because the world needs this right now, to remember that we are humans and that we have humanity. So signing out, Sacred Wild Woman.